Hey guys, it's Kelvin from Loop Masters here, and today I wanted to share a quick tip with you that is related to a free plugin called Voxengo Span that you can get from the free section of our sister site, pluginboutique.com. Span is a spectrum analyzer, and I'm going to show what it looks like to you here. And it is a very useful free plugin. If you're familiar with the Spectrum Analyzer, this is a pretty typical look, but it also has some unique features that are not present in a lot of the Spectrum Analyzers that you might have in your own DAW, for example. So one of the main things that it has that I really like is that you can set it up to get input up to 8 individual channels that will display elements of your mix, either in isolation or together, so you can compare them with each other. And I'm going to demonstrate that to you very quickly just by hitting play on this little track that I've thrown together with a bunch of samples from a Mono Deluxe pack, and you'll get a sense of what I'm talking about. So I have the lead section selected here, and you'll notice that it's displaying the lead as that little lead plays. And by selecting different groups here, I'll be able to see other elements of my mix. As I mentioned, there it can take up to 8, and so in this case I'm going to look at the drums. And you'll notice that when I do that, it shows not only the drums, but also an underlay option here, which in this case is the bass line. So if I remove that, you have only your drums. But if I want to see how those drums are interacting with other elements of my mix, I simply use the underlay here and select which one I want. So let's see, for example, how that's working with the Vox. And so then I can see how the Vox is interacting with my drums. If I wanted to change this, I could look, for example, at how the bass is interacting with my Vox, how the bass is interacting with my percussion, and so on. So you can see that from a mixing standpoint, this is a really useful tool. You can see where things are peaking and maybe potentially clashing with each other, and go in and EQ accordingly. So this is a process to set up, and it is a little bit confusing to set up for the first time. So what I'm going to do is make this session available to all of you to download, and then basically all you're going to need to do is if you wanted to change the groups here, you would simply go into routing, and you will see that there are group names, and you can go ahead and change those group names. Input labels, that's fine. Group names, here we are, drums, bass, effects, Rhodes, and so on. And I've just named those groups 1 through 8 to match the order of whatever I have set up in my session. So again, if you wanted to go ahead and change those, you would simply come into your routing and look at your group names and change those by simply typing in them. Okay? The one other thing that you'll notice in this session is that each of these individual groups is color-coded to match whatever color coding I have set up here. It's a very good idea to go ahead and start getting used to having all of your main elements in whatever you're using be color-coded in the same way. So your drums, for example, would always be yellow, your bass would always be this color, etc. So that when you're referencing them in something like Span, the colors that you see on the screen are going to jump out to you, and you'll go, yeah, that's definitely my drums because it's yellow, etc. So again, if you wanted to change any of those, or if your colors codes are different here, just simply go in by clicking on each of the groups and selecting an alternate color. You don't have too many selections that Voxengo gives you, so I would suggest that you select whatever colors you like here and then match your DAW sessions accordingly. and then just start using those colors by habit. Okay, so in terms of the routing, I'm not really going to go into it too much because, as I say, I've already set it up for you. But you may want to change the group channels in Voxengo to reference something different. So you'll notice here that I've got the channels named to reference exactly what I've got coming in here. I could simply go ahead and rename these to something else if I wanted to, say, for example, get input from a soft synth. I could just rename this to the name of that synth. And then the final thing I would need to do is select in my drop-down menu what input it's taking. And so if it was coming from, let's say, D16's Drumazon, I would see Drumazon here and select that. Okay? So that's it. I'm going to leave you with this session to download in the description text notes. And as I say, if you want to go ahead and change any of these colors, go ahead and change them. Change your output routing in span by clicking on routing and changing your group names. And then if you want to go ahead and change your colors, you can select each group and change the colors there. Okay, I hope you have fun. Once you experiment with this a little bit and change your colors and your routing inputs, etc., to match whatever it is you have in your sessions, I think you'll find this a very, very useful tool to help you mix down your tracks. So that's it for today, and I hope you enjoy better mixing with Voxengo Span.